Welcome, everyone. I'm here with Tel Franklin, who is the CEO of TellMD.com. Tel, welcome, and thank you for being my guest again.
Thanks, and I appreciate your time, Fred, and I appreciate your smartness and your brilliance and your talent. And I hope the questions are as easy as it was turning on my computer.
Wow. Well, I appreciate the compliment. So let's talk about exercise. Everybody talks about exercise, but I don't think anyone really understands in many cases why it's so valuable and so important to keeping yourself in good health. Let's talk about some of those reasons.
Okay, so first of all, you got to first define what exercise is. When I talk about exercise, I just mean the body's in movement. I think the idea of going to the gym and working out for an hour and a half scares most of us, or going on a hike for 4 hours. So it's just really kind of getting out and doing something. So, exercise can be doing housework. It could be doing laundry. It could be going upstairs and folding the sheet. So it's just really getting off the couch. And I like to define exercise as aerobic and anaerobic. And that means exactly what it says. One is with oxygen and one's without oxygen. So let's take aerobic. Fred, what do you do for aerobic exercise?
My aerobic exercise consists these days primarily of getting on an exercise bike.
Okay. So tell me, how long do you ride the bike for?
I ride the bike for a minimum of 30 minutes, sometimes going up to as high as 60 minutes.
Okay. Now tell me about the intervals that you do. Is it all at the same, effort? Is it varied? Tell me how you do it.
Well, I was for a while trying to do some differences in terms of speed. I had heard that if you really, really go hard for a minute and then stop for a couple of minutes and then go super hard to your maximum capacity and then stop, that's what I used to do, but I've since fallen back into just doing 30 minutes at the same pace.
Okay. So let me clarify it. So the heart has two effects. One is inotropic and the other is chronotropic. And what those big words mean, exercise has the potential of lowering the heart rate, but increasing the stroke volume. So each time it pumps blood, you're getting more oxygen to the tissues. And the best way to exercise is to have a plan. So I do the same thing that you do. Is I have a bike and I do intervals. So it goes slow for a minute, a little faster for another minute, pretty fast for a third minute, and then the fourth minute as fast as you can, and then slow again. You do that 20 minutes a day. Here's the cool thing: 10, 12, 15 hours later, you're still burning calories. How cool is that? As opposed to if you just go out and exercise for 30 minutes, that's good, but you're only burning calories during that time. But if you do, the real term for that is HIIT. High intensity interval training. You want to fluctuate the effort. And it's really those 4 or 5 minutes that you get in within that 20-minute sequence where your heart rate is really high, that you actually secrete chemicals to both the brain and to the heart that really boost your body's immunity. How cool is that?
That's very cool, but I wanted to clarify then. So 20 minutes is all I need. Do I need to do more?
20 minutes is all you need. You go to the gym and you see people who are on the treadmill for like hour and a half. I think it's great they're doing it. And anybody that even gets to the gym, I applaud them. But really, exercise should be like a prescription, 20 minutes a day. That's all you need. Obviously, if you're a world-class athlete, bodybuilder, a marathon runner, it's completely different. But for most of us, normal people, 20 minutes a day is all you need. How many days a week? 7 days a week. Now that effort could be on a rower, it could be on a bike, it could be on a treadmill, it could be hiking in the woods. But again, slow, a little faster, really fast as you can, and then slow again. And then what you'll find is that over time, your really fast will become somewhere in the moderate because you're more conditioned. So don't get so hung up about, is this a minute? Is this really moderate? Is this really high? The important thing is, like they say at Nike, just do it.
So just to clarify then, if I'm doing 20 minutes, I'm doing 4 different levels. So it's 5 sets of those 4 levels.
You got it exactly right. And each time it's elevating it and then rest. And what it'll do is it'll help the heart to strengthen its ability to contract blood. It'll lower the heart rate and it'll probably add about 10 years to your life. It's really the secret of exercising is that interval adjustment.
Okay, well then when people talk about, you mentioned there are two types of exercise, aerobic, which we were just talking about, as well as anaerobic. I take it that means something like weightlifting or something else, right?
It means working the big muscles of the body, your shoulders, your chest, your back, and your legs. There's no tissue in the body that's more metabolically active than muscle. So you really want to build that muscle. How many times a week? 3 times a week. One day do maybe chest and shoulders. Another week, another day do back and legs. Alternate it, and the first time, the second time, the third time you get into the gym, get a trainer. Get it, do it supervised, because the biggest thing with weights is you don't want to hurt yourself.
Got it. Okay, so now are those the only two types of exercise, aerobic and anaerobic? And if so, what are the other anaerobic exercises we can do?
So the other anaerobic exercises that you could do would be like if you're really, really, running hard, like you're doing, let's say, a 220 split sprint. So that you would go into oxygen debt. But typically, for most of us mortals, it's really weightlifting. Or I actually like just using your body weight. So like, pull ups, chin ups. There's so many things you can do without getting into the gym and just doing it at home. Be creative about it. Make it fun. Do it with a partner. It's consistency that matters. And make sure that you have a good trainer to begin with, because the biggest thing you want to avoid is injury.
Got it. So what else do we need to know about exercise? Is that it, or is there more?
Exercise is the best way to prevent dementia, cardiovascular disease. Exercise is the best way to prevent osteoporosis. Exercise is the best way to come back after cancer when you've had chemotherapy. Exercise is really a magic pill. And what I do for the majority of my patients, I actually take out a prescription pad and write it. And I think there's something that it kind of unconsciously says to my patients. I think Dr. Franklin thinks this is really, really, really important. And I'll tell you, I do this every day. I work out most days, twice a day. I do aerobic exercise in the morning, and in the evening, I go to the gym. Or I actually have, because of COVID, I built a small little gym in my basement.
It's perfect.
Mental health, optimizing brain health, optimizing your mood, optimizing your ability just to think. You're rushing, more blood is rushing to the brain. And again, this month, Journal of American Medical Association says the only thing that's been proven to help cognition and to delay Alzheimer's or prevent dementia is exercise. So do it right, get a trainer, and recruit a partner, your husband, your wife, your daughter, your son, your girlfriend, whoever it might be, just your neighbor next door, and just have a consistent plan to do it.
And that's it from Dr. Terry Franklin, the CEO of TellMD.com. Tell, thank you for, again, sharing with us these ideas.
Just remember, this is all about empowering yourself, optimizing the power of your own immune system. Check us out on the web at tellmd.com, TELMD.com, for more great tips.
Thanks.